Trekcast.
The galaxy's most unpredictable Star Trek podcast.
There we go. All right, now we're here.
You should probably let that go just a little bit longer.
Yeah, well, it's the first time with this.
Yeah.
Feels like the first time after 5 years.
Right.
You realize we've been doing this for 5 years.
Oh, I know.
Yeah, I thought about that the other day. I'm like, wow.
5
Wow.
years, dude.
Yeah.
2018
Yeah.
to 2023.
Yeah. Crazy.
I think we're I don't know if we're way past, but I think we're past the mark of having done more shows than Ivy and Darren.
Yeah.
David and Darren. I know we're past, in terms of total hours, we're way past because we have some shows that went forever.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
So,
We got tangents for days.
we do.
But I mean-
Tangents. We have two tangents here today, ladies and gentlemen.
The next generation went like almost double the original series, so there's that.
That's true.
That's true. So we're just following form.
Right.
It's true.
Just
Right.
following form.
I can't wait for Trekcast DS9.
Yeah. Well, Trekcast Discovery is going to suck. I can
Yeah.
tell you.
They're gonna cry all the time.
People are going to be reviewing it. They're like, Daniel's always crying. Stop.
Oh, no, it won't be us. It'll be an offshoot
it'll
of
be-
us, and we'll hire some young millennials to do it.
That's right. Or whatever's after millennials, it'll be like Gen Z.
Yeah, whatever
Yeah.
comes next,
Whatever comes
the
next.
alphabet soup. I don't know.
Boy.
Yeah.
Oh, boy.
Whoever names the generations, but yeah,
Who does name the generations? I don't understand.
it's like that in cars. I don't know who names them.
I don't think that people who name cars know who name cars.
That's true.
Nova,
Yeah.
Pinto.
My favorite type of bean.
Mm-hmm. Maybe not my favorite, but yeah. I
Yeah.
think black beans are pretty good. Okay, so question for you. 2053, yeah. So I can see people commenting. I can't comment though, can I? It's only just you, Daniel.
Right now, yeah, we haven't.
Okay.
We'll fix that at some point.
Yeah, no worries.
Commenting where? What are
Like there's a side screen for comments. So when we see someone comment on YouTube when they're watching us live, we can respond.
So nobody's here on StreamYard with us. It's
No,
just
that's
the
just
three
our
of
private
us.
chat.
Just the three of
Unless we
us.
have, and when we have someone come on for feedback, that's when we'll be able to do private chat with them. I'm assuming.
Correct.
But also
Correct.
the private chat is for the three of us to talk to one another. As in, I'm about to say something I shouldn't, or whatever. You guys can just yell at me there.
Or I got to go
privately.
rescue a dog, or
Or I got to go rescue a dog. Yeah.
Yeah. Honestly, I would probably send you a
Messenger
different type of yeah.
Yeah.
Just because when I start doing this,
things stop
Right.
working.
people know something's up.
something is up.
Your
sure.
hands are totally covering
You know?
the
Yeah.
camera.
Yeah.
This is a problem they fixed at some point in the future, but not now.
So,
Did you see-
Chad, this is a big day for you. Your team is in the big game.
The team is in the big game. Yeah, sports ball happens tonight. It's a major sports ball. Well,
You must be
There's
so
a lot-
excited for the Eagles.
I'm so excited to see the Eagles lose. You're right. But it's actually a big day on multiple fronts, but that's okay.
Okay.
Dan was going to say something though. Well,
I don't know. I was going to
Okay.
say that. I guess I'll root for the Chiefs as I'm eating my finger foods.
right.
I'll be like, yeah, I know a guy who lives there, so I guess I want them to win. I don't know anybody in Philly. Is that where the Eagles are? Philly.
Philadelphia,
Yeah, that sounds about right.
So
I mean,
it-
I like cheesesteaks, so
I do like cheesesteaks. We made cheesesteaks from
Oh!
scratch at home the other day.
I had an idea yesterday for a business venture. So
Oh,
somebody, I'm in a dad's group on Facebook, like a local dad's group, and somebody asked where the best location to get a good cheesesteak is in the area, and I misread what he was
Oh
asking.
boy.
I thought he said cheesecake. So I'm reading the responses, and they're saying, "Oh, go here, go there, go here," and all these places. I'm like, wow, I wouldn't think that they would have cheesecake. And then I scrolled back and reread the question and realized that he said cheesesteak. And then it occurred to me that if I opened a cheesesteak restaurant, I would call it the Cheesesteak Factory. And it would look just like the Cheesecake Factory, except behind the glass are all different kinds of cheesesteaks. What do you think?
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, I like that.
Are you gonna do like the sandwich Subway model, where like you go down the line and add your fixins and build your?
No, it's going to be just like the Cheesecake Factory, except it's cheesesteak. So
Okay.
The lights. There's not going to be enough light in there.
The menu will be ginormous.
Yep.
And you won't be able to serve any of it.
Yeah.
Yep, exactly.
That sounds great.
The portions will be way too big. So, yeah.
Perfect.
Just pick out which cheesesteak that you want behind the glass. We'll heat it up.
That's it. Yep.
Underneath a lamp for a few minutes and hand it to you. If you complain, the waitress will throw another one that's cold at you.
Yep. So that's
Awesome.
my idea.
Awesome. I like it. I
Yeah.
think it'd work.
Cool. Well, I'm going to need some backing. So get the checkbook out after the show.
We'll start a Kickstarter to fund your new business.
I got a couple of quarters right here. That'll do it.
All right.
All right. I don't think it's an upset. I don't think it's an upset, Taryn. I think the Chiefs will wipe them. I don't know. I don't think the spread will be high, but I think they'll make a good showing and make it obvious that Philadelphia can't keep up.
Well, should we get to the news?
Yeah, let's get to the news.
Let's keep talking about football.
Yeah.
Star Trek news.
Yeah. So our first news story comes to us from trekmovie.com. To be fair, they're all going to come from trekmovie.com. It's a slow week, other than, hey, Picard's coming out. So our top news story is that, I don't know if you guys have seen on the social medias, but they have released some crew logs for the next season of Picard season 3. So we've got crew logs from everyone: Lore, 7 of 9.
Really?
Yeah, they're quick. They're like 30 seconds. They're on all the different official social media sites, but they're pretty interesting. One of the cool things we find about in Lore's crew log is that apparently he was a cult leader.
Really?
Yes. Apparently he was a cult leader of former Borg drones, and that Data deactivated him for a final time, and that his mind and body had been taken to the Daystrom Institute. So that would have been a far better season 2.
Well, that's going to be when we get into our predictions for Picard season 3. That I think they're foreshadowing something right there.
Yeah, probably. So yeah, Lore's back, and we're gonna get cult leader Lore.
Leader Lore.
Dude, I dig that. I think that's.
Does Lore
cool.
have his own lore for his cult?
Yes. Yes.
I love how we can get these things on YouTube now with people wanting to promote our channels. Dogehype.com.
Amazing.
What is that?
Well,
What?
the bots are running wild.
The bots on YouTube. Oh, boy.
Yeah. I wonder if I can ban them.
Yeah, you can ban that one.
Yeah, I just don't know how. I don't know the system yet. Oh, well, whatever.
Yeah.
So our next news story. So, again, from trekmovie.com, like I said, they're all going to be. One Mr. Jonathan Archer talks about how he could come back.
That would be nice.
So, yeah. So they just recently did an interview with Scott Bakula for Trek Talks 2. It was a fundraiser event for homelessness and food insecurity. But he did talk a little bit about like how you never say no to Star Trek. He has had meetings every now and then, but it doesn't sound like it's anything other than, hey, maybe we should do another one. But he's totally down to come back. He also says he'd be down to do maybe voiceover work in a cartoon, be that Prodigy or Lower Decks. But yeah, it's pretty, neat.
You know what I want for him in the worst way?
What's that?
I want him to marry into royalty. I want him to marry a countess so that he can be Count Bakula. I think that would just be amazing.
Perfect. I love it. I saw that joke coming from a mile away, and still, I was so happy to hear
the joke. I instantly went off on another tangent and was thinking of Luxana Luxana or whatever her name is, and thinking of him marrying somebody like that, like in universe or something, But anyway,
I mean, that's pretty good too.
Is Archer the new Worf? Is that what's happening here?
I don't know, man.
Always gunning for another role.
I don't think he needs it. He was on that other show, NCIS or whatever that was.
He's still on that show. It's still there. It's one of the 15th NCIS that's also airing at the same time as the other 14.
Homeboy's making money. He doesn't need
it. He's got his Quantum Leap residuals. He's got his Star Trek residuals. He's got his NCIS gig. He's fine.
Yeah, and Quantum Leap is making kind of a resurgence with that new series. And so people are watching the old show and all that. So I think he's fine. But if I was him, I would want to see a proper send off for Archer more than what he really got. That was kind of shit. So we want to see him die.
I just want Porthos back.
Yes.
His prized beagle got transported out into the middle of nowhere and never came back, according to Scotty.
How dare they?
So,
all right. And our last news story, again, from trekmovie.com. For those of you who like physical media, Strange New World Season 1 is coming out to Blu-ray and 4K. The Blu-rays will come out sooner, next month in March, about mid-March. And then in May 16th, the 4Ks will be releasing as well. You can pre-order them now just about everywhere. Did see them on Amazon. But if you don't have Paramount Plus or wherever, they will be coming out. We're also going to get some deleted scenes and a gag reel. I can't wait to see those things on YouTube.
Oh yeah. Hold that screen up and scroll back up a little bit. That image is fine, but go a little bit more for the bigger version of it. That right there.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I remember reading the Enterprise War book, which I remember coming on the show and telling everybody was garbage, but I read it anyway. And there's a lot of scenes in that book that take place in New Mexico, I think Arizona, where he grew up, where he did a lot of horseback riding.
Okay.
And so this image makes me think of that book. But also, he was riding a horse for a very brief moment at the beginning of the series when he was, in Montana or someplace.
Right, when he had the beard.
No, when he had the beard. I don't recall ever seeing in the actual show him on a horse in the desert. Do you guys? Am I just forgetting that, or am I mixing up memories, or what?
In the TOS episode, I'm pretty sure in the cage in the menagerie, that was one of his fantasies was him horseback riding
in the desert.
I don't know if it was in the desert,
like a rocky area, I think.
But
But I mean, we have multiple images like this from season 1 that I don't think actually happened in the show.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That happens, man.
It does. It's just, I find it interesting that it's still part of the promo material with everything else they did, everything else they released, that they're picturing that image. Cowboys and Aliens. That's right. They're picking that image as the thing, as the cover art, as opposed to all the other stuff they did. It's just, I don't know. It's just an interesting take. It's just a thought.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much stuff that just ends up on the cutting room floor.
Yeah.
Just so much stuff. I watched a deleted scene yesterday from Cobra Kai, and it was hilarious. I'm like, how did this end up on the cutting room floor? This is hilarious. There's a point where he's trying to promote his karate school, and he's poaching students from other martial arts.
Oh, I saw that one. Yeah.
Yep. So he's outside a Brazilian jiu-jitsu school, and the teacher and two of his students come out and confront him. And, they're getting into some banter back and forth about Brazil sucks, karate sucks, yada, yada, yada. And the guy behind the jiu-jitsu teacher is, he's black. And he keeps referring to the teacher as Master So-and-so.
Oh, yes.
And the other guy, what's his name? Johnny.
Yeah.
Johnny says, yeah, well, at my school, I don't make the black guys call me Master. Right? So the scene plays out. They're about to fight. A cop rolls up. They disperse, and the black student calls him Master again. And he goes, you can just call me Todd. It's cool. But it's like, that's comedy gold. How did that end up on the cutting room floor?
Yeah, that's pretty
well,
good.
hopefully there's more of that kind of stuff on the DVD release with their gag reel and everything else that we get to see kind of go out to YouTube and all that.
I'm hoping we get more gags in like the fantasy realm. I bet they're.
Yeah. Oh yeah. When they go to the Ren Fair.
You know, I haven't bought any of the new stuff on DVD or Blu-ray, but I think I'm kind of going to pivot back in that direction. I had an experience last week. I was out of town for work. I was staying in a hotel. Mm-hmm. Found a movie to fall asleep to. Got halfway through the movie and fell asleep. It was The Martian with what's his name?
Matt Damon.
Good movie. Good movie. So when I got home a couple days later, I'm like, you know what? I want to watch the rest of that movie. Let me see where it's streaming. You know where it's streaming?
Where?
Nowhere. It's streaming nowhere.
Oh no!
Right? Excuse me. I watched it on FX, so I watched it on live TV. Well, it's not streaming for free anywhere. If you have Hulu Plus Live, you can watch it. There were a couple things where if you had the premium package, you could watch it. But it's like, you know, I have HBO, I have Netflix, I have Hulu, I have Paramount Plus, I have Disney Plus. It's a 20th Century Fox movie. Mm-hmm. It should be on Disney Plus. It should absolutely 100% be on Disney Plus, but it isn't. So that stuff is aggravating me. I think I might pivot back towards purchasing the favorites on physical media.
Speaking of streaming, so I logged into the Paramount account because we all share one, and I feel bad.
No, we don't.
Yeah, whatever. Anyways, there's a lot of Peppa Pig on my profile, and that ain't me, man. And so I realized that maybe Dan's family is getting into mine.
Well, it says Daniel. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
Daniel,
yeah. But I feel bad because I do like to watch the A24 horror films on there. So I'm like, oh no, they're gonna log in and see like these horrific thumbnails, and the poor kid just wants her pig.
Yeah, that's fine.
I will admit there have been times when I go over to each one of your guys' account and watch something totally girlish just for the hell of it, just to see someone have to see if you ever noticed.
I've noticed.
It's my job to be a troll sometimes.
Taryn, come on, Peppa Pig is great. How dare you? This is a Bluey house.
That sounds like red versus blue.
Exactly.
It's pink versus blue, really, but yeah.
Right.
Next thing you know, we'll be throwing out the gang signs.
The only street I know is Sesame Street, yo.
Oh, boy.
All right. Well, should we get to the main topic?
Why not?
All right.
Let's do it.
Fun will now commence.
I love
so
that.
your little bumpers are muted unless I unmute them. That's weird.
No, we're muted.
We're muted.
I'm hearing them, but I mean we're muted, so we can't talk over them.
No, there's no sound, and the little muted thing comes up.
Oh.
I have to tap it if I want to hear the audio from the.
That must
from
be
the
like
bumper.
a default thing on your end.
I guess.
Yeah, because I can hear it. That's weird.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, we'll play around with that.
So I'm going to surprise the hell out of you guys right now.
You prepared?
No, I didn't prepare.
Okay.
Let's not get crazy.
Well, that would be a surprise. I'm just.
Well, I guess no. In a way, I guess I did prepare. I rewatched Picard season 1 last week.
Oh wow!
Holy crap!
The whole thing.
You poor man, you.
And I'm like halfway through the first episode of season 2.
Oof.
Yeah, that was tough.
Oof.
That was tough. Picard season 1. I mean, when did that come out? How old is it now?
Oh
geez,
man, like
I have no
3
idea.
or 4 years old.
Is it 3? Excuse me.
I'll look it up.
So, it was weird.
2020.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so it's like 3 years.
That is a weird thing to equate, right? January 23rd, 2020. It came out before the pandemic.
Mm-hmm. Just before.
Yeah, just before. So I rewatched Picard season 1, and I did not hate it as much. I did not hate it as much. There are still issues with that show. There are still a lot of issues with that show. And I don't know, excuse me. I don't know if my excitement for season 3 and the hopes that it's the course correction we're all hoping it is. I don't know if that was projecting itself onto my rewatching of season 1, because that's the same excitement I felt when season 1 first came out. But I found myself watching it and going, oh, maybe this isn't as bad as I thought. Mm-hmm. And then things would happen, and I'm like, nope, I'm still angry about this. The Echep thing, it was gore.
Manu can't forgive that either.
Yeah, but it was gore just for the sake of gore.
Mm-hmm.
Every F-bomb that was dropped, I was like, this is unnecessary. Why did they do that? This is out of character.
Sheer fucking hubris. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. I don't know. I almost felt like the writers and the producers had some fucking hubris in doing the things that they did. But it was interesting to watch it again 3 years later, to look back at it.
Right.
I'm sure.
Instead of look forward at it. I think I was also more excited rewatching it, knowing that Data in some form is going to be part of this third season, and that there is more story to it. But I mean, we're going to get into our predictions, but I have some predictions for season 3, and I think it kind of cheapens some of the stuff that happened in season 1. But
yeah,
I don't know. Are we jumping right in, or what?
Well, before we jump into predictions and everything, I try to do fun things, right? Like last episode, I got the acceptance speech that everybody seemed to like.
Oh yeah.
so I reached out to Paramount, and I got an exclusive clip.
Really?
Yes. So this is a little bit of the first time we finally see the whole crew back together.
Really?
Yeah, they sent me this clip. I'm pretty stoked that they sent that. I think they just want to reach the hardcores. So let me play this, and then we'll come back.
Okay.
Dan's like, oh, I want to watch this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're putting the band back together.
Now, who here at this table can honestly say that they played any finer or felt any better than they did when they were with the Blues Brothers? You were the backbone, the nerve center of a great rhythm and blues band. You can make that live, breathe, and jump again.
There you go. Dan is so mad.
I'm like, wow, he pulled it off.
Yeah. So exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
They're on a mission from God.
We are on a mission from God.
Here's a confession. You ready?
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Never seen the Blues Brothers.
Oh, I knew you were going to say that. Oh, how in the world?
Sorry.
And you're from New England. What's wrong with you?
I'm not from New England.
New England area.
No,
not at all.
Is that not New England area?
No,
New York is not New England at all.
I love when Chad says things so
so wrong. I don't know.
Yeah, well, like
Sorry.
so like
No
I
doubt
really
in
know
it.
this to be so, and it's not even close.
Then what? Okay, so the New England is what? We're talking like Massachusetts, Connecticut,
Yeah,
up to Maine and all that.
Yeah.
New Hampshire,
Yeah.
Vermont. It's not New York. It's not in New York, right? It's
No.
not where the bagels are at. Is that what you're
No,
saying?
it's
It's not where the bagels
Okay.
are at.
or the
Okay.
subways.
Nope. No chowder here.
No chowder.
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 For Christmas, we're gonna get Chad a map.
Hey, I know where everything's at. I just don't know what anything's named.
Do you? I think we just proved you don't.
No, I know where it's at.
It's funny.
All right. So yeah, we're gonna do predictions of what we think is gonna happen.
Okay.
Do you want me to kind of recap some reviews that have come out?
Sure.
Real quick. Okay.
Reviews of season 3.
Picard season 3, like initial first impressions have come out.
Okay.
Overall, overwhelmingly positive. People are
Of course.
excited and thinks it's great. I did post a review from Engadget where they kind of went a little bit more in depth, not that much, but a little bit. They said that the show does have some issues with clunky writing and repetitive scenes. They gave an example. Yeah. They gave examples of just like repeating lines that just say the same things over and over again.
Yeah.
They did kind of say that things are just kind of like thrown together and the plot is a little thin, which to me sounds like issues from the past 2 seasons. Yeah. Honestly. But then like I read the glowing reviews and they all said basically the same things as far as like it's just cool to see everyone together.
Yeah.
And things like that. So to me, it sounds like we're going to have a little bit of both, honestly.
All right.
Yeah.
To me, it sounds like we're going to have the exact same thing we've had the last 2 seasons, which is a mash. But the only saving grace is the fact that we get to see them together.
Mm-hmm.
That's what it sounds like to me. Yeah, I don't know. I still... Hope springs eternal, as the saying goes, right? I'm a glass half full, not a glass half empty kind of guy. Mm-hmm. I'm excited about it. It's Thursday this week? So it's 4 days from now? Isn't it Thursday? I thought it was Thursday.
I think it's Thursday.
It is Thursday.
So I'm not on the road this week. I can actually watch it first thing in the morning, as opposed to having to, whatever. Mm-hmm. With meetings and all that, I can fit it in.
I'll be late to work that morning.
Yeah. I don't know if I'll be late, but I walked down the stairs into this studio and here I am working. So
there you go.
It should be fairly easy for me to be able to just watch it. I'm excited. Am I holding out hope that it's going to be fantastic? Man, it's really hard for me at this point to get excited about anything Trek that's not Lower Deck and that's not Strange New Worlds, right? Those are the 2 that are just... Lower Decks is a blast. It's fun. It's silly. It's crazy. It's just fun, right? And so that's always a good time. You're always going to get something funny and have a good laugh and see something out of the blue that you didn't expect. Strange New Worlds pulled off so well last year that I'm extremely excited for that series. That is true Trek in my mind. And this isn't Picard season 3. We've said this forever. It's not season 3. It's a whole new show.
Right.
I hope it's a whole new show.
I really hope it is. But
that's what they made it sound like.
Yeah. So, but it sounds like it's a whole new show with the same problems.
Well, put it this way. I would rather watch TNG season 8 with a bunch of problems than Picard season 3 with a bunch of problems.
I agree.
Right.
I agree.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah. And it sounds like that's what we're going to get. They brought everybody back. So I don't
Which is what they should have done in season 1.
Yeah. I don't think they're going to bring them back just to be set pieces.
Mm-hmm.
So hopefully there's logical reasons for each of them being there, not just we're getting the band back together.
Well,
we have a new villain that we don't know much about.
Yeah, we don't know anything about this person.
And has this person? We don't know if this person's ever faced off with Picard before. If there's history there,
new villain.
Or if there's it's completely okay. So we know it's a completely new villain, as in none of the main cast, none of the main crew have ever faced this villain before.
Allegedly, unless they're going to do some weird retcon where they'll say, Oh yeah, we faced her before a long time ago. That you
Well,
never
they
talked
could
to.
have faced her before, just in between the very last season, season 7 and the movies, in the movies and now, right? I mean, it could have been. There's a huge time gap there. What, 20 years?
Yeah.
So there could have been. There's plenty of time for them to face all different villains at different times, or this same villain at different times in the past, and now they're having to come together like the Avengers to take Thanos down.
You know who she is? I just figured it out.
Nope.
She is the Countess Bartholomew.
I mean,
The Countess Bartholomew.
Do you know who that is?
no.
No,
Come on.
it's not hitting the memory bank.
No.
Does that not look like 3 old people walking out of the geriatric center right there? Come on, there's no energy in that. Riker looks like he's out of gas. Picard looks like he's stumbling, and 7 of 9 looks like, why am I in this suit?
Well, these are still shots officially from Paramount.
I know.
So, yeah.
And she's a captain now.
I
think she's a commander.
So what happened to the Fenris Rangers?
We'll never know.
Yeah, maybe something during the Dominion War could have been. I don't know.
Could be.
There's a lot. There's a lot of ways they could fit the new villain in, but none of them make sense in terms of them all having to come together in order to face her, and yet we've never heard anything about her. That
Right.
I don't know. I guess there's a way to tie all that in, but it just doesn't make a lot of sense.
So the Countess Bartholomew is Moriarty's chick from the second episode that he was in. So.
Yeah, and obviously we know that Moriarty's back in some way, shape, or form to mess with him. Either that's because the villains are using Moriarty or what. We don't know.
So here's the thing. All right, so that log or whatever you were reading before, that gave some background on Lore, and it said he went to the Daystrom Institute. His body went to the Daystrom Institute, right?
Right.
Isn't that what it said? Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
And in Picard season 1, we visited the Daystrom Institute.
Correct.
Yep. Agnes.
And B4 was there. B4's parts were there. We know that Data plugged himself into B4 during Nemesis, and the idea was that his whole consciousness is there inside B4.
Correct.
And then they used one micron or whatever from him to create the synths, which is how Picard was able to speak with Data's consciousness in the end of season 1.
Yeah.
And then they shut that off at Data's request, and Data, quote unquote, died inside that simulated environment. But that wasn't Data in there. That was a copy of Data's mind. But there's another copy. There's a copy of Data's mind inside B4. If they're studying artificial intelligence, they're studying that. If they have Lore, they're studying him. I'm pretty sure Lore was plugged into Data at some point during the TNG run, the original run.
I think so. That sounds familiar.
Yeah.
So we've heard rumors that this character is going to be an amalgamation of Lore and Data and B4. But we also know we have this whole planet of synths now that can create humanoid bodies that can give the appearance of being aged, because Picard is walking around in a 94-year-old appearing synthetic body. We also know that the Daystrom Institute is, they study not just androids, but artificial intelligence, which sentient holograms are artificial intelligence. So to think that the Doctor hasn't spent some time at the Daystrom Institute letting them study him, or I'm sure that Moriarty was brought to the Daystrom Institute at some point for them to study. So I'm trying to figure out the connections here, how Moriarty is connected. And I think that's the connection, is the Daystrom Institute. And I think that's how Data and Lore and B4 all end up in one confused 74-year-old looking body.
I think you could, because from what we've heard about Moriarty, I forget where I heard it, but basically it's not the one we saw from the show. It's like a copy of him that they kind of boot up.
Yep.
So it could just potentially be they boot up in the hologram, he pops up, and that's all he is in that show. Just a quick Easter egg.
Yeah. So, I mean, something as simple as they contact, there's some conversation with Barclay regarding artificial intelligence, and he's like, "Hey, let me email you a copy of Moriarty. Check this thing. Check this thing out."
Yeah,
But
Taryn says basically you can't delete anything digital, and that maybe it's a tie to Lower Deck's collection of evil AI.
Yeah,
I mean that was something they were going for a while there. Like everything was evil AI. They had control.
Yeah.
Well,
here's the thing then. So if there is some copy of Data exists inside the hardware of B4, then Data didn't die. It's like how many deaths that weren't really deaths are we going to have here? And if his consciousness exists in, I keep saying micron, but I know that's not
neuron, maybe
neuron. That's what it was. Yeah. If his consciousness exists in every neuron, then he's never going to be gone.
Right. Well, nobody's really ever gone, like they said in Star Wars. I don't want to miss this. Daryl put this up too. That Lore will have a Picard android type body. Yeah, I think so. That's how they're going to explain that he's old. So,
yeah,
they have made all of. They have made the Trek universe at this point so damn convoluted. It's almost like Altered Carbon in how convoluted it's going to get. I don't know if they'll try to get that convoluted with it or not. They'll probably go for something stupid simple with the villain.
Dan will get this. I can't wait for Star Trek New 52.
With all the high collars.
Yes, exactly.
The Jehovah's Witnesses are out. That's what I'm looking at.
I was wondering what he's looking at.
I'm waiting for,
right.
If that happens, it's staying in, just so you know.
Yeah.
We're not editing that out.
Yeah, but that'll be funny. That'll be hilarious.
So, all right, how's this?
Pavel says,
remember
in modern Trek, death means nothing. They always come back.
Yeah,
like the MCU.
Yeah.
So the Daystrom Institute is now consulting with the Planet of Synths.
Uh-huh.
And they say, hey, we have these two Sung type androids here. We've got B4 and we have Lore. And the Synths say, well, leave Lore in the box because that's where he belongs. But why don't we download B4 into this brand new synth body here?
Mm-hmm.
Except that since B4 was plugged into Data, and Data was at one point plugged into Lore, maybe it's got to be like a multiple personality thing, and I think Lore is in control. That's what I think we're going to see. I don't know.
Potentially, yeah. We don't know anything about the bad guys, so it's hard to make like a definitive, like, here's my prediction of what they're going to do with it. But I think
if you go with the common theory or the common theme that they've had throughout this entire the first two seasons into now,
in all the shows,
AI, but especially with Picard, it's always been about AI, synthetic life, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what it's been about. Both of the first two seasons were that way. This season is going to be that way as well. And it's probably a battle with this villain who maybe does bring Lore back and brings Moriarty back. And maybe Moriarty winds up having a body. Who knows? But maybe that's why she's a villain. maybe that's why she's tied in with Picard, and Picard has to take care of it because he's the liaison between the synth planet and whatever she's doing. But he needs help.
I just thought of something.
And him being a synth, that's where it ties in. I don't know. It has to be something simple. From the standpoint of it can't be so convoluted that their past performance also shows that they'll do something so damn convoluted that it's hard to follow, but whatever.
Right. Is there potential that the villain, even though it's a new villain, is actually some sort of synth robot, but it's the mind of another villain that we've encountered before, and they put it in a different body?
Yeah, that would make more sense. With the whole body swapping and no one's really who they think who they are, it's like they might as well have changelings again and all that shit, right? So
because you could. My thought. What was the name of that Romulan officer that Picard kind of that was his main nemesis for a little bit?
Oh, Tomalak.
Yeah. Yeah. Like, Tomalak's mind is now in this new person's body.
I don't know.
Is she a Romulan?
We don't know. We don't know anything about her.
She looks human, but
okay.
She just looks like the same. She looks like the exact same character from Austin Powers movies. I mean, I'll just be honest. Every time I've seen the photos of her, she looks exactly the same. There's even a little plastered curl over her forehead. Yeah. Like, what the hell?
So that one reviewer who watched the guy who gave it a lot of guff, I think he watched they let him watch the first 6 episodes. Is that what it was?
Yeah.
He didn't see the whole thing. One of the things he complained about was just like too many Easter eggs just for the purpose of Easter eggs, and too many people popping up just like for the sake of having people popping up. Which I'm reading that and I'm like, F you, man. I'm excited about that.
You're right.
And it got me wondering, like, okay, TNG wise, since this is a TNG sequel, TNG wise or TNG era Star Trek wise, what are the possibilities? Who could show up? So who would you be excited to see?
Not this chick. See, look, she's even got the same little. Yeah. She's even got the same hairstyle plastered on her forehead. What in the world?
Karen says it's Shinzon's mom. So
that's not the same actress from the Austin Powers movie. Are you sure?
No,
it's sure as shit looks like her.
Are we going to go through this again? It's not
no,
her.
It's not.
It's Honey Bunny. It's Honey Bunny from Pulp Fiction.
Gotcha. Sorry.
We're going to get so much hate mail over this again.
What is the name of the villain from Nemesis? Not Nemesis, Insurrection.
Oh, the guys with the
Abraham?
Stretch faces.
Adhar Ruafo?
Yeah. like that type of people.
Hey, laugh all you want, man. That's his name.
Yeah.
Are you kidding?
But look at like the clothes, like that style. I mean, that's my thought.
Those are alien faces.
Are those Nausicaans behind her?
We don't know. They're wearing masks.
Yeah.
Maybe they're welders. That's their goggles.
I'm here at the welding guild. Do we want to raise?
Yes.
They don't weld in the 25th century. They have self-sealing stem bolts.
Yeah, that's true.
Self-steel. Yeah, self-steel.
Jesus.
Dan's like, these idiots. What do I surround myself with? Go have the Jehovah's Witnesses pray for us.
So I'm making my prediction right now.
Do it.
Cole Maney's showing up.
Oh, please.
Oh, yeah.
He's the most important character in human history, according to Lower Decks.
Starfleet history.
Right.
So,
most important character in Starfleet history, I thought is what they said.
No, I'm taking it to the next level. Human history. O'Brien.
But that's Michael Burnham. It was on this day Chad was booted from Trekcast.
I could see us getting like a Bashir popping up like real quick, like they ask him a medical question and he pops up on a screen. Yeah. Something like that, Yeah.
Yep.
What about okay, so we know that the couple of guys from Lower Decks are going to show up and lie, on this season of Picard, isn't that?
Yep.
So
Lower Decks and Picard? No, they're gonna. It's Strange New Worlds.
Oh, Strange New Worlds. I'm sorry, I'm getting things confused.
Yes.
Damn. Well, I was thinking about the AI thing in the Daystrom Institute. Well, we always keep seeing in Lower Decks, right? But
right.
Anyway, so Strange. Yeah, that's weird. I don't know how they're going to do Strange New Worlds with that, but whatever.
Terrence seems to think Barclay.
I could definitely.
I could
Barclay.
absolutely see
I
that.
could
Yeah.
absolutely see Barclay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
I would
if
like
they
to, and if it's Barclay, I would love to see the EMH with him.
I mean, that guy said he was going to be in the show last season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Robert Picardo. Yeah.
Yeah. Robert Picardo said.
Yeah.
Yep,
Well,
it was going around for a while, so
yeah,
it was. But if they bring Barclay back, then he shows up. I don't want him to be the same. I want him to be the same Barclay, but I don't want him to be the same Barclay, right? I want him to be this Barclay that we all know and love, but I want him to have just a little added something because he's he's gotten older, he's calmed down, kind of thing,
I want him to be Stefan Barclay, like he was in Voyager, where everybody loved him and he was so smooth.
I get that reference. I don't know.
Yes, I know.
Chad, do you get the reference?
No, I don't. I understand what he's
Chad.
saying, but I don't know. I don't know the Stefan thing.
There was Stephen Urkel and there was Stefan Urkel. Stefan Urkel was the cool one.
Okay,
Right.
Gotcha.
Stefan Barclay.
Urkel.
I mean, that's what it was.
Yeah.
But no, I would want to see him be a little bit better. Well, that's true. You could either have him be a little bit better version of himself or be completely evil. That'd be hilarious too. Like he's just totally gone insane and he's evil.
I don't want that.
I don't want that either. I'd rather have him be just who he is, but he's calmed down. He's a little bit better version of himself.
I want him to be totally suave. I want him to be Stefan Barclay, and I want him married to a woman half his age, and I want Riker to be like.
And she needs to look just like Deanna Troi from the original series.
No.
Yes.
He needs to be married to Leslie Brahms. Just so he can hey, Jordy, what's up?
There is so many little things they could do
to
Jordy in this season that would be hilarious.
Don't
the poor
do
guy.
that.
The poor guy.
Jordy.
Don't
do
that
to
to
Jordy.
We love Jordy.
Let's do a character rundown, right? And just real briefly of who we know is going to be there, and then maybe after that, who else we want to see coming in. So Picard, where is Picard at in his state of mind now that he's not a real boy at the beginning of this season? What is our predictions for where he's at? Why is he having to? We know he's probably having to round everybody up because of the villain, whatever that plot line turns out to be.
Well,
but is he just living on the chateau at the beginning of this season, or is he on a ship somewhere?
No, he's the Chancellor of Starfleet Academy still, and I think that is what connects him to all of Starfleet. So I mean, the last time we saw O'Brien, he was teaching at Starfleet Academy. So I know that was 20 years ago, but he could still be teaching at Starfleet Academy.
Okay,
living on Earth. It'd be interesting to see. All right, so it's 20 years. So Molly and Kiriyoshi are adults at this point. So did they follow in Dad's footsteps? Are they, are they students at Starfleet Academy? And he was enlisted, and now he has children who are in line to be officers in Starfleet. I can't see anything making him more proud.
Yeah.
So I mean, that could be a logical reason for us to see him. And you mentioned Bashir. I'd imagine that to O'Brien's kids, that's Uncle Julian at this point.
Yeah.
So I could see him back on Earth. Maybe he's the head of Starfleet Medical. Maybe he's, still doing work with augmented people. He's the senior advisor on augmented human. I don't know. There's stuff. There's things.
So I pulled up
Quark. I'm sure there's a Quarks.
Yeah.
I'm sure
there's Quarks everywhere.
There's a franchise of Quarks in San Francisco. So I would imagine that I would imagine if Bashir and O'Brien are both living on Earth, they meet at Quark's once a week to play darts.
Yeah.
And it's not their Quarks from Deep Space Nine, but it's Quarks.
Yep.
I'm going to just say this: Quarks is the Star Trek Dave and Buster's.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Definitely.
Exactly.
A much shadier, darker version of Dave and Buster. Yes.
Indeed. No, just as equal, just as shady and dark as Dave and Buster's.
I don't know. Dave and Buster's doesn't have holodeck programs with Kira's body and Quark's head.
That's true.
That's pretty
true.
shady and dark.
On multiple levels. So I have pulled up lists of characters in TNG, DS9, and Voyager. And I think I'll just grab a couple and we can do likely or unlikely that we think will appear.
Okay.
So they're in alphabetical order, so I'm going to be hopping around a little bit. But let's go with TNG first. Ro Laren, likely or unlikely?
No.
Unlikely.
Okay. Let's do Keiko O'Brien. Likely or unlikely?
Unlikely.
Yeah,
Okay.
I don't see it.
Hugh. Maybe some sort of flashback.
Yeah, unlikely. He's dead. They ruined that.
They did.
Spot. The cat.
Spot. If I think there's the possibility that like every synth has a cat and they're all named Spot.
There you go. We kind of said Tomalak already.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
The Traveler.
Oh, Wesley?
Yeah, I don't think so. They've
Okay.
kind of said that he's, he said flat out he's not in it.
All right, let me move on to DS9. Go Julian Bashir.
I think that's a possibility.
I would love
Okay.
to see that, yeah.
Yeah,
Esri Dax.
I can see that.
Ducat. Oh, he's dead.
He's
so-
dead. Yeah, he's
I don't
dead.
think we'll see Ezra.
Kira Nerys.
See, here's the thing. They could easily, if the plot takes them through Deep Space Nine, I mean, we could see all of these people.
Right.
But in reality, I think you're more likely to see Morn than any of them. Because that's just a dude in a suit.
Yeah, it's pretty easy.
How about Jake Sisko?
No.
Okay.
See, this is tough because all of these are so easy to do.
Right.
They are, but they won't.
Right. Okay, Voyager. Let's go Chakotay.
I think you're more likely to see Admiral Janeway than
I would agree with that.
Yeah.
Admiral Janeway and the
Mm-hmm.
EMH before you'd see anyone else connected to Voyager.
Tuvok? Maybe like an Admiral Tuvok or something like that.
Again,
Starfleet Chief of Security, something.
Well, I mean, Admiral or Commodore O is no longer.
Yeah, they've got an opening.
Yeah.
They do.
Yeah. Seska?
Seska. No, she's dead.
Yeah.
I don't think we'll see any. I'll just make this prediction. I don't think we'll see anybody from, the DS9 proper, as in that was their, obviously we'll see Worf. He was from DS9. I hope we see O'Brien, but he was in both, right? But just the main DS9 people that were only in DS9. I don't think we'll see any of them. Same thing goes with Voyager outside of, obviously, 7 of 9. I don't think we'll see anybody else from Voyager.
Not even Naomi Wildman?
I don't think we'll see Naomi. I don't think we'll see Harry Kim. I don't even think we'll see Admiral Janeway, although they probably should. But I don't think we'll see any of that. Because honestly, we should have seen Admiral Janeway already.
Oh, you don't know the big one.
That should have been that should have been who Picard went to talk to in season 1.
Oh yeah,
not
for sure.
whoever the hell the old lady was.
No. They couldn't do that. If they had Janeway speaking to Picard the way that lady spoke to him, that and Janeway is a hero character.
Yeah.
So you can't have her dropping F-bombs to Jean-Luc Picard.
Well, I wouldn't have had that lady dropping F-bombs either.
And yeah.
Right.
But you can't put the heroes of the two shows at odds with each other like that.
Why not?
Why not? Because
that'd make a great dynamic. The two of them arguing, right, and not getting along.
Because in the end, Admiral Janeway would clearly have been wrong, the way this other lady was clearly wrong.
Yeah,
and I think it would cheapen her character, and I think that's why they wouldn't do something like that.
Everybody makes mistakes, even our heroes.
It's true.
It's the decisions they make after they make those mistakes that matter, and that's what makes
and that she had such a close relationship with the EMH that her supporting a ban on synthetics, I don't think that's in character for her.
Oh, well, true. They get into a slippery slope with all of that, don't they?
Yeah.
So I was looking at one of the Wikipedia page for season 3. The very first episode is called "The Next Generation."
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if we knew that. It's
not
not directed by Jonathan Frakes. It's directed by Doug Amatsky.
Oh, that guy.
Whatever, yeah.
Yeah, he directed the second Air Bud.
He directed. Jeez.
I don't know, man.
I knew you were making that up, and I'm like, what? Why didn't you just throw Paddington in there? Anyway.
Oh, I can't, man. Did you not see the news? I'm so heartbroken.
I know. I saw the news.
No Paddington 3.
No Paddington 3. Not for a while.
Oh, I'm in deep mourning.
So Doug directs the first 2. Jonathan Frakes directs the next 2.
Right.
And we know what episode 5 is called. We don't know any of the other episodes. Episode 5 is called Imposter.
Oh.
So that does lead credence to someone not being who they say they are, as in
that is the definition of imposter.
Oh, yeah, exactly. As in the whole old Brent Spiner. There we go. Now you're back.
Yeah.
Not really being maybe B4, but him being lore, or maybe the villain is somebody else.
Oh, you think they're gonna think he's B4 for a little bit, and then it's revealed he's lore?
Yeah, maybe.
And they ruin that by saying it's lore.
Yeah,
I could see that.
Yeah.
I could see that absolutely.
I could see that. Yeah. So I could see them ruining a whole bunch of things, like the whole joke where he Paddington 3 Cocaine Bear.
Okay, I would be mad, but that is amazing. I want that.
Well, there's a movie coming out called that's about a bear that loves cocaine.
Oh yeah, Cocaine Bear.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's based off a real story.
It's based off a real story. Yep.
Yes, but in real life, the bear ate the cocaine and then died 10 minutes later.
Yeah, exactly.
In
the movie, it lasted for months, and they didn't know where the damn cocaine was going, and they had to go kill the bear.
I just picture Scarface with Paddington. You want to talk to me, man?
Say hello to my little friend.
All right. Great.
Where were we?
I don't know, man. No, I just got
I'm lost.
The tangents are real.
Yeah, for sure.
No, so the other characters. Riker. Where is Riker still retired when we start this thing up, or is he back on the Titan? Who's on the Titan?
Well,
he was never
7 of 9.
He was never retired. He was reserve status or something.
Oh, he was a reservist.
Yeah, so I think he was
only trained on Saturdays and Sundays.
Right.
I think he was on extended
Weekend
leave.
Warrior.
Weekend Warrior, in the true term of Weekend Warrior.
Mm-hmm. Will we see the kid? His daughter.
No.
She'd be a little bit older now. Maybe in the academy.
Yeah.
Oh, that might be the line. Oh yeah, she's in the academy. That's why we didn't see her.
Throwaway line. Yeah.
Yep.
Will we see the pizza oven? Will he burn the tomatoes again?
Will they go to Cisco's restaurant for a meeting? We've seen Quarks.
Inquiring minds want to know.
Indeed.
Yeah. What would really top this season off? Just the piece de resistance that would just top the whole season off. At the very end of season 3, we know for sure that there's no more Picard. That they tell us that there's no more Picard, right? It's over. No, that's even better than that. And this will never happen, so it's a total dream, right?
Right.
They're all sitting around at the back on Earth, and they're at Cisco's restaurant, and in walks the Cisco.
Oh.
And from there forward, the next season is actually a DS9 continuation with Cisco being back. But maybe it starts off with him not knowing who he is, and they all see him, and he's just cooking and cleaning the dishes, and he doesn't know who he is.
I could see, because they've said that this is the last season, right, of Picard.
They say that, and then Patrick comes around and goes, "Oh, there could be more."
Right, but here's what I think. Because he's the producer, right? He's one of the producers.
Yeah.
I could see they finally kill off Robo Picard, and he's done. So, like, it is the end of Picard, but the show continues with Riker on the Titan, and they just rename it.
I don't think Jonathan Frakes would do that.
It's only 10 episodes, man. It's not like he's working all year.
Listen.
Oh, he is.
Here's the thing. If they let him direct all 10 episodes and write it himself, he would be all over it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he'd be getting paid 3 times. He'd be getting paid for writing, he'd be paid for directing, and he'd be paid for acting.
Or you rebrand it with 7 of 9 as the new captain of the Titan. And that's your new show.
This is the thing about the 7 of 9 character that I just don't understand. Her whole... everything that makes her clock tick is the exact opposite of where they're putting her in this season. So that doesn't make any sense to me.
It's a new character. It's not the 7 of 9 we knew from before.
Which is...
it's fine. They rebooted her.
No, it's not fine. No, it's not fine. The character that she was in the last 2 seasons is the character she is now. You can't just... God, they completely screwed her up already. You just screw her up again. Just stop talking about her then. Just move on. You've ruined her twice. At that point, you'll just keep ruining her. It's just like... these people.
Stop making fetch happen.
Yeah, it's just not going to happen.
So at the end of Picard season 2, that new Borg collective.
Yeah.
I mean, they wanted to join the Federation. That was the whole thing, right? They were transmitting a request to join the Federation, right? So what happened with that application? Are they part of the Federation now?
Well, they're there protecting the hole. The Guardians protecting the wormhole or whatever, the whole space time. That sounded really bad. They're there protecting the hole.
So okay,
but
go ahead.
I'm trying to wrap my head around 7 of 9 wearing a Starfleet uniform. 7 of 9, not a graduate of Starfleet Academy, has no commission in Starfleet, but suddenly she's wearing a uniform. She holds a rank. She's serving aboard a vessel. And the only way that I can make that make sense in my head is if the Borg, not the Borg, but the Borg from last season.
Agnes's Borg,
if they are now part of the Federation, when a member joins the Federation, they talked about, on Deep Space Nine, they talked about when the Bajorans join the Federation, all of the little things that will have to be done to make it official. And one of the things that they mentioned was merging the Bajoran militia into Starfleet, folding them into Starfleet. So everyone who had a commission in the Bajoran militia will have a commission in Starfleet. So if that Borg joins the Federation, then the Borg officers would have to be folded into Starfleet.
But they don't really have Borg officers. I think it's more of if Admiral Janeway waves her magic wand, and now 7 of 9 has a commission, and that's lots simpler to do. But keep in mind that Agnes's Borg, by the way,
she could have done that 20 years ago.
Right, but 7 of 9 didn't want that.
So okay,
in the current scheme, in the current setup, right? And so maybe she does now with whatever else is unfolding. But We don't actually know if the seasons. Do we know if when the season starts off, from the moment it starts off, that she's already in uniform, or does that something that happens during the season? I'm pretty sure it happens just during the season. But
we don't know. We don't know. Yeah.
Starfleet will assimilate the Borg.
Assimilate the Borg, yeah.
Yes.
Well, and Agnes's Borg, by the way, they're not all of the Borg in the entire universe. They're just the Borg that she has control over. So it's another subset the same way as all the other.
Borg.
Yeah, exactly. It's just like there was Lore's Borg, and there was the Borg that were in the Delta Quadrant with separate. There's multiple queens. That's the thing. There's more than one, right?
Yep.
There is. Yeah.
So I thought of something while we've been talking about all this, and I've been wanting to bring this up. So if they do want to continue the show, but Patrick Stewart's like, I'm done, you could, like I said, kill him off, but then you create a new ship and you name it the Picard, just like they've named other ships after other people. And so the show is still Picard, but now it's the ship.
Right.
Yep, they could do that.
Because they put his synthetic mind into the AI of the ship itself.
Oh, yeah, and they have him do voiceovers, and he can talk. Don't do that, Will. Shields up, Will.
He just does voiceover, and now every time the computer talks, it's
they give him
Patrick
6 figures
Stewart
to go to a closet and voiceover work for 2 days, and he's done.
Goodness. Oh, my goodness.
Or they have him do that phonetic that thing they had Majel Barrett do, so they can just phonetically make any word they want.
Yep.
Yeah, they can do so much. I mean, nobody even realized that James Earl Jones did not participate in the making of the Obi-Wan series at all. It was all computer generated.
Yeah, it's getting good now, man.
Yeah, it's getting crazy.
Yeah,
and you know what? It's opening new legal issues too.
Yeah.
I saw that what's the name of that company? They own like a gazillion photographs. When you find a photograph on the web, it's usually has a watermark, and it's got this company's name. Getty, yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Getty Images is suing all of these AI art companies that are having AI create this artwork, because what the AI is doing is it's going on the web and it's looking at all these Getty images and then using those to create new images. So they're saying it's downloading our images that we own and then using it for its own
learning purposes.
Yeah.
But if these AI companies are charging people, if they're charging people money to use these services, and these services are downloading copies of Getty images without obtaining permission or without paying for the use of those images.
Yeah, but you can make a really good legal argument that there's no difference in what those AI bots are doing than you going and looking at multiple images on Google and then creating your own artwork based off of what you've just looked at.
Right.
That's no different than because the AI isn't actually downloading it; it's just looking at.
Yeah. Well, the key word that you said is argument.
Yeah, argument. Yeah,
arguments take place in courtrooms.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So
should we get to listener feedback?
Maybe. I don't know. Sure.
Nah, screw those guys.
Okay. All right, let's get to listener feedback.
Open hailing frequencies.
Hey!
Frequencies open, sir.
I like that. That's funny.
Yeah, it's different.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. So there we go. We're in listener feedback.
We have no voicemails, by the way.
Okay. Well, I do have some feedback. Let me pull it up here. So I put a post in the Facebook group, and so Scott asks, "Who do you think will die in the end?" I think we've kind of said that. I'm pretty adamant that Picard's going to die.
Yeah.
My hopes and dreams.
Yes.
That's what dies at the end.
Yeah. Tim asks, he basically says he has very much a feeling that this is going to be Attack of the Clones. I don't know if he means like storyline or just that it's not going to be very good, but that we are wearing rose-tinted visors while viewing TNG. Yeah, maybe.
Does he mean like someone's going to say execute order 66 and everybody?
Oh God,
TNG crew. Is that what he means?
I don't know, but I'm wondering who's the Jar Jar.
It'll clearly be Worf.
Worf will be the Jar Jar. And then Duvall asks,
he's not a pacifist. I'm putting my foot down. That's a joke.
Probably.
A joke. He's not a pacifist. Yeah. He finally developed a sense of humor. That's what that is.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And then Duvall asks the hard questions. What snacks are you having during the preview? I guess he means first episode.
During the first episode?
No, he's talking about isn't there supposed to be an extended preview during the Super Bowl tonight?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know if extended though. I mean, it's so many millions and millions to do a trailer.
Yeah. Probably boneless buffalo wings. That's what I'll be eating.
So nuggets.
Yeah. Don't hate.
I'm not hating. I'm just saying.
Don't hate.
They're just nuggets with sauce.
Yeah.
That's fine. Down with that.
That's okay. We all have words for things. Chips and dips, quesadillas.
I am making some wonton crab rangoon.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
Ooh, wonton crab rangoon. That sounds really
I might
good.
stop by the cheesesteak factory.
There you go.
A couple sandwiches.
There you go.
You filthy animal getting cheesesteaks.
I did also get an email from Taryn. The subject is Chad is bragging. And
what?
Yeah, and it says, "Am I the one who felt like Chad is bragging about his other podcast who has more than 25 viewers? Ouch. But I guess it makes all the sense since they talk about Stargate rather than Paddington." How dare you, Taryn?
Yeah, it was kind of braggy.
A little bit. The humble brag.
Beaver tail.
Yeah.
Listen, I like beaver and I like tail, but
not together like that. Not in a real thing.
It's like a funnel cake, right? That's like he's mentioned this before.
No.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he did say that. It's like a sweet treat or something.
Yeah. Like over here in Idaho, they're called elephant ears. They're same thing. It's like a fried dough.
Elephant ears.
That's what they call them here, man. It's very
funnel
Republican
cakes. They call funnel cakes there. Yeah, beaver tail is actually with real beaver. So
yeah,
I don't know if that's a
what.
I don't know.
He's Canadian. What are they going to eat up there in the winter?
The moose says, "Don't eat us, eh?"
That's funny. I should start doing reference lines from the Great White North. Yeah, exactly. I did that out of the blue the other day when it was snowing, and my daughter looked at me and was like, "What the hell's wrong with you?" And I had no clue.
I did see that we did get a donation on our Ko-fi account.
Wow.
Cool.
Which thank you very much.
We haven't talked about that in a long time.
Yeah. Well, they've come in. So I'm guessing you didn't look at it, Chad.
No, I hadn't pulled it up yet. I was going to. I was looking through the emails to see if we got any emails there. We don't, but we do have, again, I guess I'll just stay with the theme. Chad's going to brag. Here's our numbers for how well we're doing around the world.
Okay.
As of the last week, even though we haven't had shows.
Okay.
We dropped 52 points to 228 in what country underneath the TV reviews category? Dropped 52 points to be ranked 228 in the last week in the TV reviews category.
I don't know. Romulus. It's my least favorite part of the show. I'm just putting that out there. Go ahead.
United States.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's pretty.
All right. That's pretty good.
That's pretty good. 199 in Australia, 227 in Germany. Beaver. Yep, eat the meat, sell the fur. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
That works for me too.
Our Ko-fi donations came to us from Zaldot and Eric Woods. There wasn't any messages on there.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
Nice.
Appreciate
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Dan was saying that the charts are the part that's your least favorite, or the feedback. I just making sure I'm on the same page.
The charts. the charts. It's like 4 minutes of you going, guess what? And I'm going, I don't know, man. Just tell me.
I made it quick this time. I
Yes, you
made
did.
it quick.
Good job. Good job of making it quick. All right.
Any of our listeners going to join us?
Doesn't look like it. Nobody X'd up, so that's okay.
Oh, I might have to ask him again. I guess I don't know. Nope,
Yeah.
I guess you did in both places. Yeah, no one. Huh?
Yeah.
Interesting. Okay.
That's all right.
Maybe they don't know how to
yeah.
on this platform, or.
Yeah. Well, it's like before. I would just send them a link and they would join us.
Gotcha.
But that's okay. Next time is fine. Just in the future, guys, when you do want to join us, make sure to turn down your radio before you jump on, so we don't get feedback. So,
radio.
Yes. But, yeah.
And if it's your first time, you have to say long-time listener, first-time caller.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
there you go.
Just like the radio.
Yeah. So.
What's our call sign if we're going to pretend that this is radio? WKRP?
WTRK. I don't know.
I think Dan would be the only W because the Mississippi River is the dividing line. Everything west of it is K. So
yeah, I'm a K. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. Well, that pretty much is it. You know, we've got Super Bowl tonight. We've got Picard Thursday. 2 weeks. We've got the Mandalorian. More Pedro Pascal saving magical children. So.
Well, he's saving a kid in The Last of Us right now.
Right, that's what I mean. He's got two. We'll have two shows running of him saving magical children.
That's true. Yep.
What is that show? I don't know anything about that show.
It's based off a video game. I've never played the video game.
It's actually quite good. I've watched the first episode finally, like yesterday.
Yeah, it's very good,
and it was really good. It gave me a very fast-paced Walking Dead kind of vibes from the first part of it when it was really good way back when. But yeah, it's
Daryl knows what's up. Elimination Chamber next Sunday. Yeah, Sami Zayn versus the Tribal Chief. It's wrestling.
What?
Oh, jeez.
That's right.
My least favorite part of the show.
Yeah.
When we talk about wrestling and Paddington, I'm kidding.
I'm not.
Dare you?
Yes, go KC. It's going to be fabulous. We've got a gigantic fight going on right now in my game. Eve Echoes, I'm watching a little bit of the stuff going on. I'm going to have to get into that fleet when I get done here too. It looks like we've got about 350 versus about another 280. And just because it's fun, and so you guys know why this game is so cool to me, as of this week, the war that we've had going on for 2 months in that game has topped the equivalent of $313,000 US in damages.
I mean, if all the news reports are to be true, we'll have our own alien invasion soon, man.
Yeah.
God, how did we get through this whole show without talking about Chinese spy balloons?
The balloons,
right?
I saw a guy on TikTok put up, meanwhile, this week in China, and it shows all these like calm scenes with people walking around, and all of a sudden there's the Budweiser blimp playing Thunder as it comes down into the downtown China.
Playing AC/DC.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Thunderstruck should be the new national anthem.
It should.
Dude, that would be the most badass national anthem.
It would. It's almost on par with, or go along with the whole theme. What was that movie? What's his name goes in the future and everybody's de-evolved into idiots.
Is it?
And the president is a wrestler.
Oh yeah. Idiocracy.
Idiocracy, yeah.
Yeah. You're the smartest man ever because I know basic math.
Yeah. because toilet water needs to go on the grass and not Gatorade.
No idea what you guys.
You'd have to have seen the movie.
Oh man, dude, you would love this movie.
You would love Idiocracy. It's great.
Brought to you by Carl's Jr.
Yeah.
Right. I'll have to go check it out.
Yeah. It's pretty great.
It is great. It's like a live version of what happened before.
It was a comedy. Now it's a prophecy.
Yeah, but no, I mean, it's like a live action version of what happened to the planet before we saw the little robot, the Disney Pixar movie.
WALL-E.
Yeah, before WALL-E, right?
Yeah.
It's the live action version of how that universe in Wall-E was created.
Cool to Wall-E.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's great.
All right, man.
It's fantastic.
Well, thanks everybody for watching. I will edit the shows. We will get this going.
All right.
All right.
All right.
Bye.
Thanks, man. We'll see you guys. How do I exit?